Have you ever noticed how something begins to shift around the age of 40? It's not just physical or emotional, it's spiritual. You begin to feel life differently. The things that once excited you now feel empty. The noise of the world no longer moves you the way it used to. It's as if the universe slowly turns down the volume on everything external, so you can finally hear what's been speaking within you all along. This isn't a coincidence. For the spiritually sensitive, for the ones chosen by God, this is a sacred turning point, a divine unfolding. You start to reflect on your journey with new eyes. You realize that all the moments of confusion, isolation, heartbreak, and even silence, they weren't punishments. They were preparation. Everything you lost, everyone who left, every door that closed, none of it was random. It was alignment, it was pruning, not punishment. You were being carved into someone capable of carrying a deeper purpose. You weren't being delayed, you were being developed. At 40, the veil begins to lift. You don't just sense your calling, you start to walk in it. In your earlier years, you likely bent yourself to fit into places that never felt quite right. You may have dimmed your light to avoid making others uncomfortable. You tried to be agreeable, lovable, acceptable, but around 40, something sacred wakes up inside you. The masks fall away, the pretending ends. You begin to crave truth more than approval. Authenticity becomes your compass. You no longer care about impressing the world. You're far more interested in aligning with your soul. You stop chasing people, you stop over-explaining, you stop shrinking, and instead, you begin to rise quietly but powerfully. People start noticing something different about you, though you don't announce it. Your presence feels deeper, calmer, more grounded. You speak less, but when you do, your words carry weight. You no longer react, you respond. You no longer perform, you simply are. You don't seek attention anymore, yet it finds you. You've become magnetic, not because of what you say, but because of what you embody. There's peace in your presence. There's light in your silence. You've become someone others can sense, but not always explain. And then comes the sacred solitude. In your 20s or 30s, being alone may have felt painful, like a void to escape, but now, you begin to understand that solitude is a sanctuary. You crave stillness. You seek quiet not as an escape from the world, but as a return to your soul. You begin to hear things more clearly, not outside, but within. You stop praying for what the world wants, and you start asking for what your spirit needs. You begin to trust your inner voice, because now you've lived enough to know that it never lied. Your prayers change, your pace changes. You no longer chase timing, you trust it. You let go with grace, you forgive with softness, you discern with wisdom. The world still spins with noise and chaos, but you no longer dance to its rhythm. You found your own and it's quiet, sacred and steady. The right people start to arrive not because you went searching, but because you became still enough for them to find you. You become a lighthouse, rooted, radiant and real. Turning 40 isn't just a milestone for the chosen, it's a homecoming. It's when everything starts to make sense. The pain, the patterns, the paths. You realize you were never lost. You were being led, and now finally, you're ready to rise, not as someone new, but as who you truly are. You don't just carry light, you are light. And your presence, without trying, becomes the healing you once prayed for. And beloved, this is only the beginning.